Here now with much more is the president and founder of Live Action, Lila Rose, is with us. Lila, welcome back. Although, I wish under different circumstances. Did I just hear this correctly? If a person says stop, the counselor says, well, using a word like stop, people get mixed up. Doesn't stop mean stop?
It should always mean stop. I mean, we have an issue in our country where 1 out of every 4 women say they experience some kind of sexual assault. And this is a Planned Parenthood worker telling a vulnerable teen girl that no doesn't mean no in sexual situations, and she shouldn't expect it to. Right, and that she should have this so-called safe word. I mean, it's crazy counseling for a vulnerable girl.
Can I understand this, that we give, what, $500 million to Planned Parenthood tax dollars every year? That's about the number, 500 million? All right.
Yep.
Here's what I want to understand. So this girl's 15 years old, identifies herself as a 15-year-old, and she's getting, bondage and S&M and asphyxiation and tying up and whipping. What gives this Planned Parenthood, quote, counselor a right to circumvent a parent's values and what a parent would want to instill in their kids? I don't think any parent wants their kid, 15-year-old daughter, learning about asphyxiation and getting whipped.
Yeah, and that's the normal response, Sean, but we've given power over to Planned Parenthood because we give them over $500 million a year in taxpayer money. They claim to be the leading sex educator for teenagers in our country. In our school systems, they have their tentacles. They've created relationships with our schools to get in there and teach not just teenagers, but even grade school kids. So we're the ones who are allowing this, and that's why we're calling on not just Congress to defund them, but on people at the local level to get involved, because we should not be trusting our kids with this organization.
Now, there was another case also in Colorado where a 13-year-old girl got an abortion at Planned Parenthood, and that she walked in with an older man, her stepdad.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking story.
Tell the story.
The case just came out 3 weeks ago. The lawsuit was filed in late June. This girl was sexually abused for years by her stepfather, and her mother wasn't aware of it. She became pregnant at the age of 13. The stepdad took her into a Planned Parenthood in Denver, had the abortion. 4 different Planned Parenthood so-called health professionals engaged with them. He even filled out part of the paperwork for her. They clearly had different last names, and not a single one of them reported the sexual abuse or looped in the mother, breaking state statute in the state of Denver.
How does a 13-year-old get an abortion without parental consent, and some guy that likely got her pregnant gets to sign the papers?
It's a great question,
How does that happen?
Sean. Well, it happens because first of all, Planned Parenthood regularly denies reporting laws. They refuse to follow them, or they fight against them in the legislatures. They rubber stamp, or they try to ignore the parental consent part of this, because their interest is not protecting these girls. Their interest is abortion, and then pushing a sexual ideology, a sexology that's very destructive and dangerous on our teenagers. I mean, they're killing over 320,000 children a year at Planned Parenthood in our country. So should we be surprised that this is the way that they're treating young girls, and they're covering up sexual abuse and pushing dangerous sexual practices on girls?
Lila, great work again. We'll continue to follow these investigations of yours.